I think. It's like a really busy month when it comes to work. I need to do some stuff on like funding proposals for next week. So I want to a little bit capture my like work life. Currently it just has been reaching a certain deadline, like writing stuff and submitting a conference paper and getting some stuff sorted out. But next week I have quite a busy schedule. But all in all, it has been like a really good month so far. Like a slow, kind month. Nothing spectacular hasn't happened. Just slowness of life. That feels really good. It's unreasonably warm at the moment. Like it's January, and almost all of the snow has melted. Like the first clips were from like the first days of January, and then it was like a beautiful wintry, and now it looks like spring here, and it's only January, and that is such a shame because I like winter, and now I'm going away like for the entirety of February, which is usually one of the like the bestest winter months. So it's just a shame that it isn't like a really beautiful wintry atmosphere. My life has been a lot of walks. I have been taking a lot of walks, and it has been lovely. Like I have realized how much I fill my like thoughts and my mind with hurry and noise that is completely unnecessary. I love listening to podcasts, I love listening to music, but sometimes I feel with the noise of the world and my life, and I just find it really impossible to get still. And that is something I have been practicing on this month. I actually just went for a walk and I didn't listen to anything. I had my like headphones with me just in case. Focusing on how quiet it can be in my head is quite good. It just makes it almost impossible not to be present in a moment, and that is just something that I need currently. When I'm feeling good, when I'm feeling happy, I want to be present in that moment and just savor the quietness. Weekends currently are that for me, and it's like really incredible having those kind of moments. I had like a really slow morning today. It was really good because I had a little bit of a bad night of sleep before that. Just starting the weekend was excellent, and I'm now cooking us some like early dinner. We are fasting today, so we are going to have early dinner. I'm making tofu wok. I've been really loving getting back into cooking again. I love cooking, but the last couple of months of last year, I started to become so exhausted and so unhappy that I didn't really care about the way I ate. I love cooking as like a proper dinners and planning out what we eat, and my flatmates are kind enough to like allow me to do so, because I think we would just eat like chicken and rice if I didn't plan out what we would eat. That is shortly what my life has been in January. I also realized that I'm going to Rome like quite soon, like in a couple of weeks, and it feels nerve-wracking, to say at least. But I'm also really waiting for that. But I thought I would chat to you a little bit about reading. I set a reading goal of 70 books, and I am quite excited to reach that goal because I really want to read more and more. So far this month, I have finished 3 books. my life has also been quite busy, like social wise, and I have had more energy to do different kind of stuff, so I haven't spent so much time reading as I spent like in December. So I have finished 3 books. So the first book I finished was The Passion of Artemisia by Susan Vreeland. This is a historical fiction about Artemisia Gentileschi, who lived in 17th century Italy. She was one of the only like big female painters of that time in Italy, I think. And this is about her life growing into a painter. This starts with Artemisia is raped by his father's friend, and she goes through a trial which ends in the catastrophe, and her father marries her to a man. It starts with heavy topics, so if you're feeling a little bit squeamish about like sexual assault, there is a lot of talk about that. Nothing really, no graphic scenes, but Artemisia goes back into that trauma quite often in her later years, and she talks about especially her anger towards her father, the way he treated her. But I think this was like a really interesting look into how it is to be a woman in different times, and how our struggles are pretty much the same, even though the eras are different, because Artemisia struggles with how to connect her passion and work to her family. Of course, there wasn't a lot of choices for women in Renaissance Italy. I thought this was like really good, really rich in detail. Then I think I finished this second, and that is Emily Wilder's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. This is like a really cozy, cute fantasy novel. Nothing really bad happens. It's about Emily Wilder, who is a scholar, and she goes to a research trip. She's writing the world's first encyclopedia of fairy lore. She has a rival, insufferable, dashing Wendell Bumblebee, who arrives to the same place, and Emily needs to sort out her feelings, and also do some research. This was cute, but when I was reading this, I realized how much more grim fantasy I like darker themes. So this was cute, but didn't have a lot of substance. So unfortunately, I didn't enjoy this that much that I would want to continue reading this series. And then lastly, I finished God on Mute by Pete Creek. This is a non-fiction book about engaging the silence of unanswered prayer. My flatmate has been talking about Pete Creek for me like ages, and I finally read this. And this is about like unanswered prayers and explaining why God doesn't always answer to certain prayers. Pete Creek talks about the pain of his wife fight for her life, but also like how important prayer is, and how unanswered prayers actually draw ourselves more closely to God. All in all, this was really, really good. I really enjoyed how Pete Creek talks about his experiences of pain and suffering, and how hard it is actually to understand why God doesn't answer to all our prayers. And he actually goes through the process of unanswered prayers through Jesus' last days on earth, so from Maundy to Thursday to Easter Sunday. And I thought this was like really good. And then I thought I would talk about quickly 3 books I'm currently reading. I'm planning to actually finish this weekend because I need to return this library on Monday. So this is The Bands of Morning by Brandon Sanderson. I think this is 4th book in the 2nd Mistborn trilogy. I honestly haven't enjoyed this series compared to the first trilogy, but I want to keep going so that I get into other series in this universe. But so far, this hasn't been like the most engaging read. I also realized that it has been ages since I read the last book in the series, so I don't really remember a lot. So I feel that just also like changes the way I feel about this book, but I just love how easygoing Brandon Sanderson is and how exciting it is. And then I'm reading like a Finnish historical fiction book that actually takes this place in this city that I live in, and this is from like 19th century, and it's a romantical historical novel. I am like 100 pages in, and I actually read a book by this author in autumn, and I really enjoyed this. These are the 2 fiction books I'm currently reading, and then I think I mentioned this book in my last video, so I'm currently reading this religious non-fiction book called Spirit Walk by Steve Smith. I'm buddy reading this with my 2 friends. We are going through this quite slowly because there is a lot to unpack, and this has been like really good so far. It's about the power of prayer and like listening to the will of God, not our own. It's a really practical one, and so far I have been really enjoying that. So those are, I think, the only books I'm currently reading. I'm also listening to an audiobook, but I haven't been really eager on audiobooks. I'm currently listening to a lot of podcasts. But yeah, I think I am going to now make myself a cup of coffee, and then I am going to read The Bands of Morning while I wait my tofu to soak. Happy Tuesday, so it's 21st of January. I'm trying to do some work. Like yesterday was a chaos day. I thought about updating you, but it was a chaos day. Usually like Mondays, especially like the mid-morning, are like a little bit of a hustle because I need to like sort out my week. But then like after lunch, I spilled a glass of sparkling water on my laptop. It might have broke, and I had a little cry, a panic. Luckily, my flatmate has a Mac and she is using her work laptop, so I am going to do some work on that. My laptop is trying, and I'm going to check up on it after lunch break. So it's 11:30. I went to gym today morning. We actually have like a small gym in a basement, and I'm trying to get back into gym, running, doing weights, just to make my body move and feel less stiff. So I went and walked on the treadmill for like 20 minutes. Then I came back, I washed my hair. It's still like in a drying process, but I really like how it's looking. And now I'm doing some work. So this week I need to write 3 like research papers for different funding application. I can basically use like same texts but in different lengths. So one has to be like 10 pages, other one has to be 6 pages, and then we have 3 pages. So I'm trying to like firstly write the like longest one, and then like narrow it down for the 6 and 3 pages. So those are like my main focuses when it comes to work this week. Otherwise, I need to update my CV for the applications. Probably think about a little bit how my applications forms will look like, and then tomorrow I have a Zoom meeting with my supervisors. So my supervisors live in another city, and one of them is actually in America currently. So we usually meet on Zoom. So I have some text that they need to like read through and comment on, and I'm really nervous because this is actually the first time I have submitted some academical text, especially like in English, so I'm a little bit nervous to hear what they think of. Yeah, otherwise, work-wise, some emails and stuff. Yesterday we met up with my friend group, our community. We read Bible together, and that was really fun. And that was just so nice after like a day where I felt like everything went wrong, honestly. And so it's just really nice to have a community that supports you. And yeah, we read Bible, we ate some food together, and it was really nice. We came home quite late. So yeah, that was partly because I slept a little bit later. I'm going to now, I think, write for like 30 minutes and then have a lunch break and try to do some writing. I'm trying to just get into like research proposal mood. I'm really tired of writing grant applications. I really hope I will get one this spring because I'm done with writing like research papers on, and I want to focus on my research. But I also need money. Yeah, I actually did finish, I'm updating you quickly, but I did finish The Bands of Morning by Brandon Sanderson. I actually returned it to library already. I found it a little bit meh. I haven't enjoyed that trilogy that much. I ended up giving it 3 stars, which is really low rating for me with Brandon Sanderson. That I did on Sunday. I had like a really tired Sunday, like incredibly tired. I took like a 2-hour nap. We watched a film and I read. It was like really good resting day, but I didn't expect that I needed that kind of rest, and it frustrated me a little bit, but I actually felt quite well rested on Monday. But I could bubble on endlessly because I don't want to write that research paper. So I'm going to do and write and update you at some point. Okay, I looked when was the last time I updated you. It was like 90 days ago. It is 13th of January, Thursday, and I was like yesterday thinking about like, oh yeah, I'm still filming a vlog and I haven't updated you in ages. It has been incredibly busy. I think last time I checked up on you, I was telling you how much work I have been doing and a lot of work that has to be done. I'm almost finished with everything, but I have been just so focused on work and then resting after that I just haven't been feeling like updating you at all. And honestly, I also have a little bit like I forget that I'm vlogging again. I'm forgetting to update you. I surprised myself completely and finished all my funding applications. Like, I had planned on still doing them on Friday, and I just managed to do so much work like last week. But I'm starting to feel very exhausted because I have been trying to create somewhat consistent morning routine to wake up early, so that I get started with work early, that I get everything done before I have some other stuff to do. And ideally in Rome, I would like to like wake up relatively early because like moving to the archives and everywhere I'm working looks like an hour long trip. I need to make that time useful. For that reason, because I have been waking up early and not going to bed very early, I haven't been sleeping that much, like 7 hours. I can function on that after like a year of insomnia, but it's starting to make me feel a little bit delirious. And today morning I actually decided to sleep a little bit longer, and it was so much needed. We have a prayer week going on, like Finland wise, but also like here where I live. So we have had like a lot of praying sessions that has lasted to very late in the evening, but it has been really nice just pray together, but also that combination with working a lot has been quite awesome. But today I think I will finish everything I need to do for work before going to Rome, and then tomorrow just some social things, then starting to think about packing. I need to start thinking about packing, maybe making some packing lists tomorrow or today, because I need a packing list to figure out how much stuff I need for a month of staying in a different place. Work-wise, it has been really productive, but I'm just so relieved that I have the funding applications ready. They are so exhausting, and I hope I won't have to do a lot of them this year anymore. That is a prayer request. If you're praying that I will get funding during this spring or this winter. But I also will be starting working as a freelance writer again. So I have stuff to write on also today. It's like a really chilled out day. I just have some work to do, and then I'm going to a pub quiz later in the evening, and hopefully just a lot of relaxing. I have been actually reading quite a lot. So far, I think I have read like 8 or 7 books this month, which is really great. I'm enjoying reading a lot. So I'm just going to quickly mention some books I have been reading and finishing. So I had 2 finished books. So firstly, this was for book club. This is like a history of children and especially girls from Middle Ages to 19th century. And this was quite interesting. Actually, the author has graduated from the same place that I'm doing my PhD. So it was really interesting to see like a historian at work. But I found this quite slim. It was, I think, like a collection of her PhD thesis. So yeah, it was interesting. And then I think like during the weekend, I finished this Finnish historical romance novel called En voi sua unhoittaa pois by Anu Vähäaho. This actually set in the place that I live in and have grown up in. This is from like 19th century. It was really sweet, but after this I kind of realized that I'm a little bit sick of like sickly sweet historical romances at the moment. It was good, but I would say like This reminded me a little bit of Pride and Prejudice, but it got a little bit too steamy for my liking. This is a struggle with finding a good historical romance. I love historical romance and I love romance in books, but I don't really like explicit sex scenes anymore. So that is a struggle when I love historical fiction, but trying to find books with not a lot of explicit sex scenes. And then yesterday, I finished like a first 2-star book in ages. Like, I can't remember when was the last time I gave a book 2 stars. I ended up reading Second Place by Rachel Cusk. I have had this on my shelves for ages. I used to love Rachel Cusk so much, and then I was like feeling I want something contemporary, and I picked this up, and I think my reading taste has changed so much that I don't really know what I enjoy anymore. Like, do I enjoy books and authors I used to enjoy? Sally Rooney's latest book was in the border of that because there was a lot of like explicit sex scenes and I loved parts of it, but then I was also like, do I want to spend my time reading these kind of books? And the answer is maybe no. I just found this really bland. I didn't know what was happening at all. So I ended up giving this 2 stars. But those are books I have been currently reading. A book that I would like to ideally finish before I go to Rome, because I need to return all my library books before I go. So I am like 100 pages into Maresi Red Mantle, the Red Abbey Chronicles by Maria Turchaninov. She's, I think, a Finnish author, but she writes in Swedish. So I actually found this in English from library. This is a 3rd book in a trilogy. This is a little bit like feminist spin on like strong female characters in a fantasy world. I have really enjoyed Maresi and Naundel. I'm also really enjoying Maresi. I think it is like a letter collection, weirdly enough, but I really love Maresi's voice in this. I think this is really doable to finish before Sunday, because I hopefully will also have like a lot of downtime, relaxing. So this is probably the only book I'm like actively reading. I also need to figure out what books to take with me to Rome. I think I am relying on Kindle pretty much for like my free time reading. I need to take some books with me research wise. I think I will take with me Holy Feast and Holy Fast by Caroline Walker Burnham. This is actually a book that inspired me to become a historian. I have read this like several times, but I'm currently going through this. So I think I want to take this with me, but it's also really heavy. I need to like figure out these kind of things. I was trying to look if any libraries there have this. So this is Gendered Voice, Medieval Saints and their Interpreters, edited by Catherine M. Mooney. This was actually like a book that I have been trying to get my hands on ever since my craft thesis, and then my friend went to America last year and I actually ordered some secondhand books, like research books, to place that they were staying. So I got this one on my hands, and I am thinking if I will take this, but I also like, do I want to spend time in Italy reading this because I will be reading a lot in the archives? Maybe not, but book-wise, I think I'm taking my Bible with me and Kindle, but I'm also like trying to think that maybe I want to take a book with me on plane, but otherwise it's up in the air. But I also need to like start thinking about what books I will buy for my Kindle, because I don't have a lot of unread books on my Kindle. So I have been trying to look like some non-fiction, but I also want to buy some like fiction books. And then I think I am going to buy some books in Rome. I would really love to read some Jhumpa Lahiri's books that she writes about Rome. And I really want to get English Bible when I'm in Rome. I probably need to start doing some work before I have some lunch. I'm going to try to update you a little bit, maybe film some clips and then try to finish like filming this before I go to Rome. And yeah, I'm really excited of seeing what I will like create in Rome. Like, do I have time, or will it just be like another month-long vlog? I'm kind of liking this way of like form long time vlogging, because January has been quite good, honestly. Like a lot of ups and downs, but a lot more ups than like earlier months. So I'm really grateful for that. And I'm really grateful for my friends, but I'm really grateful also that I get to spend a month in Rome. Like, just the thought that I will get like away for a month is both terrifying but also so exciting, like so exciting. Yeah, I'm really, really happy. Also, I wanted to show you, my room is a mess and my mirror is really dirty. But my godmother came yesterday and she had knitted me a jumper for Rome, because it's like a really light consistency and I can like throw it on. And I'm currently like, I haven't yet decided what I want to wear today, like out. But I just love this so much. I am just so excited to wear less winter clothes in Rome. But I still like need to figure out what kind of outfits I like to bring with me. But I'm just so happy with my sweater.